What happens when the one person you've never truly let go of comes back into your life? Tai Bordon is back at Heartland, but what awaits him isn't the life he left behind. Things have changed, and the biggest change, Amy's heart now belongs to someone else. But is that the end of their story? Or is this just the beginning of a new chapter? Heartland fans, brace yourselves. Season 19 is about to throw everything you've known into question. The return of Tai Bordon. The air feels different today at Heartland Ranch, as the sun sets over the horizon, casting a warm golden glow across the fields. There's a shift in the wind, a sense of something stirring. The door of the barn creaks open slowly, and the camera follows the sound of boots stepping on the familiar grass. Tai Bordon is back. His face, a mix of quiet determination and nostalgia, emerges into view. He stands there for a moment, taking it all in. The barn he used to call home, the horses grazing in the distance, and the fields stretching out in front of him. The place looks the same, but it's not the same. He's not the same. Tai exhales deeply, as if letting go of the weight he's been carrying all these years. The camera lingers on his boots, slowly climbing up to show his worn-out jeans and the familiar flannel shirt he used to wear when he lived here. Every inch of him feels like a part of the past, like something that was lost, but never really forgotten. He steps forward, each step echoing the weight of his return. He looks up, his eyes scanning the ranch like he's seeing it for the first time in years. The last time he was here, life was different. He was different. But now, something has changed, and the question lingers in the air. Can Tai pick up where he left off, or is the past too far gone to revisit? Tai's gaze locks on the barn door, the one he once stepped through every day. He hesitates, unsure of what he might find on the other side. His heart beats a little faster as he pushes the door open. It's like stepping into a memory, but also like walking into a brand new world. The first glimpse of Amy and Nathan Tai stands at the threshold of the barn, his hand resting on the worn door frame, watching the scene unfold before him. He wasn't prepared for this. Out in the stable, Amy stands beside Nathan, her laughter carrying through the air as they share an easy moment, something Tai never thought he'd hear again. Nathan, ever the steady presence, reaches over to gently touch her arm, offering her a smile that speaks volumes. For a split second, Tai wonders if that touch meant more than just friendly affection, and his chest tightens. He watches them, hidden in the shadows, unable to tear his eyes away. Amy's voice floats through the barn, filled with warmth as she speaks to Nathan. There's a lightness to her that Tai hasn't seen in years, a part of her that's healed since he left. His heart clenches at the sight. His mind races, struggling to keep up with the flood of emotions. 1,000 thoughts swirl around him. Memories of their past, the love they once shared, the way she used to look at him with hope in her eyes. But that was before. This is now. And now, things are different. Tai takes a hesitant step forward, his boots barely making a sound against the barn floor. He leans against the doorframe, arms folded tightly across his chest, unwilling to let himself be seen just yet. He feels like an outsider in the place he used to belong, as if time has shifted without him and everything he once knew has moved on. The weight of his absence, the years he spent away, suddenly feels like a chasm too wide to cross. For a moment, Tai can't help but wonder, what does this mean for him? For Amy? The life he had, the love he thought was forever, has now taken a new shape. And in that new shape, where does he fit? Does he even belong here anymore? The question hangs heavy in the air, unanswered, as Amy and Nathan share another laugh, oblivious to the man standing in the doorway, silently watching. Tai's internal struggle. Tai's eyes never leave Amy and Nathan, even as he feels the knot in his stomach tighten. A storm of conflicting emotions rages inside him. He stood on this land, fought for this ranch, for this family, but now it feels like the earth beneath him is shifting. He steps further into the barn, each step bringing him closer to the undeniable truth. The woman he once loved is no longer waiting for him. The sight of her so at ease, so happy with Nathan, forces him to confront the reality he's avoided for years. The wind picks up outside, whistling through the cracks in the barn. Tai reaches up, running a hand through his hair, as if trying to shake off the tension that's settling deep in his bones. It's almost too much to bear. The memories of their time together, the love they shared, the promises they made. He can still feel the weight of those promises like an anchor dragging him down. He thought he could walk away, that time would heal all wounds. But seeing Amy so full of life, with someone else, makes him question everything he believed in. His gaze shifts toward the barn's wooden beams, the same ones he used to build with his own hands. Every piece of this place tells a story of hard work, sacrifice, and love. But today it's telling a different story, one he isn't sure he's ready to face. The barn, which once felt like home, now feels like a stranger, and so does Amy. She's still here, but the connection between them feels like it's been lost in the years between. Tai's heart pounds in his chest as he tries to make sense of the pain that rises within him. He can't just pick up where he left off, can he? The thought of seeing Amy every day, of trying to be part of her life again, seems impossible. Yet, there's still a part of him, the part that never truly left, that aches for a second chance. But would she even want him back? The doubts gnaw at him as he watches her laugh with Nathan, the sound of it piercing through him like a dagger. And in the midst of it all, Tai knows one thing for sure. He's not the same man who left. The question now is, can he still be the man she needs? The confrontation. Tai and Nathan's first interaction. The silence between Tai and Nathan stretches on, thick with unspoken words. Nathan, with his quiet confidence, is the first to break the stillness. He steps toward Tai, offering a firm handshake, his eyes steady, though there's a flicker of something, curiosity, maybe even caution, behind them. Tai, he says, his voice calm but edged with the weight of the situation. It's good to see you again. There's no smile, no warmth in his words, just a recognition of the past, of what's come before, and the uneasy reality of what now lies ahead. Tai looks at Nathan, his hand hesitating in midair before meeting his grasp. His fingers tighten around Nathan's hand for a moment longer than necessary, as if trying to read him, trying to see if there's something deeper in the man's quiet demeanor. Nathan's face remains unreadable, but Tai can feel the subtle tension in his grip. There's no hostility, but there's also no friendship. It's an acknowledgement of the space between them, of the years that have passed, the choices that have been made, and the consequences of those choices. Tai shifts his weight, his gaze flickering between Nathan and the barn door, where Amy still stands, watching them from the distance. He can't shake the feeling that he's stepping into a world that no longer belongs to him. Nathan has filled the space Tai left behind, has stepped into the life he once thought he'd return to. And now Tai is here and everything feels out of place. I didn't expect this, Tai finally says, his voice low, almost distant. I didn't expect any of this. The weight of those words hangs in the air, a quiet confession. He's not just talking about Nathan's presence. He's talking about everything. The years, the distance, the loss, and the quiet way life moves forward when you're not there to witness it. Nathan nods, his expression softening for just a moment. I didn't expect it either, Nathan says, his voice carrying a weight of understanding. But things change, Tai. People change. And sometimes it's for the better. The words sting more than Tai is ready for, but he hides it well. A part of him wants to argue, to remind Nathan that things weren't meant to change this way. But he can't, because in the end he knows Nathan's right. Time doesn't stop and it doesn't wait for anyone. With one final glance at Amy, Tai knows nothing about this reunion will be easy, and everything about it will force him to confront a future he's not ready for. Amy's reaction to Tai's return. Amy steps forward, her boots making a soft thud against the barn floor as she walks toward Tai. The moment her eyes lock with his, it feels like time holds its breath. She pauses, uncertain, caught between the past and the present. Her expression flickers, surprise, disbelief, and something deeper that she can't quite name. For a heartbeat, she stands there, frozen, her heart racing as the man she once loved stands before her, looking as familiar and as foreign as ever. Tai, still leaning against the doorframe, meets her gaze, but there's no smile, no words of comfort. The space between them feels vast, filled with everything they never said. The silence stretches on, thick and heavy, until Amy finally steps. Closer, her voice quiet but steady. "Tai, you're really here," she says, her words a mix of awe and something softer, like a whisper of hope that maybe, just maybe, the years and the pain haven't erased everything. Her heart aches as she looks at him. It's been so long, and yet here he is, standing in front of her, unchanged in some ways but so different in others. His eyes carry the same sadness, the same weight that he left with. But now there's something more, an uncertainty, as if he's unsure of where he fits into the world she's built without him. Amy can feel it too. The air between them crackles with all the things they've never resolved, all the feelings they buried because they didn't have the strength to face them before. Tai doesn't speak immediately, and Amy feels her breath catch in her chest. Her hands fidget at her sides, unsure of what to do, what to say, how to bridge the distance that's grown between them. She's spent so many years trying to rebuild herself, to move forward, to fill the void left behind by his absence. But now, with him standing here, it all feels like it's been undone in an instant. Finally, Tai exhales, his shoulders tensing as if he's bracing for something that could either heal them or break them further apart. His voice is quieter than she remembers, full of hesitation. "I didn't know what to expect when I came back, Amy, but I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to see you like this." Amy blinks, trying to hold herself together as the words hit her harder than she expected. She's changed, she knows that. She's not the same woman Tai left behind, and she isn't sure if she can go back to being that person. But the part of her that loved him so fiercely, the part of her that still carries the echo of their shared history, feels that familiar pull. And in that moment, she knows. The question isn't whether she still cares for him, it's whether he can find his place in the life she's built without him. "I'm not the same person either, Tai," she says softly, her voice trembling just slightly. "But I'm still here, and I'm still me." She doesn't know what she expects from him after that. There's so much left unsaid, too many years between them, too many changes. But in her eyes, there's a flicker of hope. Hope that, maybe, just maybe, they can find a way back to each other. Tai stands there, his mind racing with everything that's been left unspoken. Amy's words linger in the air between them, almost like a soft plea, but he can't quite bring himself to respond. The years apart have changed him, shaped him into someone who isn't sure how to fit back into the life he once knew. He's come back to the place he loves, but it's not the same place anymore. And now, standing in front of Amy, his heart pulls in two different directions. He looks at her, and there's something painfully familiar about the way she stands there, eyes filled with unspoken questions, waiting for him to make a move. But he can't. Not yet. Not when everything inside him feels like it's in turmoil. He wants to reach out, to take her hand like he used to feel the warmth of her touch that always made everything feel right. But the years apart have built walls between them, walls he's not sure how to break down. Tai glances over at Nathan, who stands in the background watching them quietly, a calm presence in the storm. The realization hits him like a ton of bricks. Amy's life has moved on. She has someone else now, someone who's been there when Tai wasn't. A pang of jealousy, something he thought he had long since buried, rises up within him. He tries to push it away, but it's there, gnawing at him. Nathan has been a part of Amy's life in ways Tai can never be again. And what does that mean for him? For his place in this world? The silence in the barn grows heavier, the tension thickening, as Tai tries to sort through the maze of his emotions. There's a part of him that wants to just walk away, to turn his back on this reunion and leave it all behind again. But then, there's the part of him that never truly left, the part that still remembers the warmth of Amy's smile, the way she made him feel like he was home. That part of him aches with the desire to go back to how things once were. But can he? Should he? The man standing before Amy now is not the man she knew. He's not the same man who promised her forever. Time has changed them both, and Tai isn't sure if they can pick up where they left off. The thought of trying to fit himself into her life, into a life she's built without him, seems impossible. Yet, the pull to try is stronger than he wants to admit. Tai looks at Amy again, the confusion in his eyes giving way to something deeper, something raw. I came back because I thought maybe there was still a chance, he says, his voice a mixture of hope and doubt. But I don't know if I can just walk into your life like I never left. I don't know where I belong in it anymore. His words hang in the air unanswered as the weight of his dilemma settles in. Does he stay and fight for a future that might never be? Or does he walk away, leaving the past behind for good? The choice isn't clear, and it's tearing him apart. The cliffhanger, the world outside seems to blur as Tai stands in the barn, staring at Amy, his mind whirling. The sounds of the ranch, the distant neigh of a horse, the rustle of hay and the wind fade into a muffled background as he tries to make sense of what's in front of him. Amy's gaze is unwavering, a soft tension in her eyes as she watches him. The air between them is thick with uncertainty, the years of silence crashing down on them both. Tai's heart feels like it's being pulled in every direction, torn between the life he left behind and the one he's too afraid to claim. He takes a deep breath, looking away for a moment, the weight of his emotions nearly too much to carry. As his gaze shifts toward the wide-open fields beyond the barn, he can't help but wonder, can he still find his place here? The land, the horses, the memories. It all feels so familiar yet so foreign at the same time. He's returned to a place that was once his everything, but it's no longer the same. Nothing's the same. Tai's eyes flicker back to Amy, and for the briefest moment he sees the woman he once knew, the one who held his heart in her hands, the one who, in her quiet strength, made him feel like he could be more than he ever believed possible. But now, there's a distance between them that feels insurmountable, a gulf created by years of separation and unspoken words. His chest tightens as he fights the urge to step forward, to try and close that distance, to tell her everything he hasn't said. But something stops him. He knows he can't just pretend everything's the same. He knows that what they had, what they still have, has been reshaped by time, by pain, by absence. There's no going back to the way things were. But the question still lingers like an unanswered prayer. Can we move forward? Tai takes one last look at Amy, his heart caught in the space between them. He doesn't know what the future holds, and the uncertainty of it all feels like a weight on his chest. The quiet wind picks up again, carrying with it the scent of fresh grass and the promise of something new. Yet for Tai, the future remains a shadow, elusive and just out of reach. As the camera pulls back, Tai stands there, a man caught between two worlds, one that he's left behind and one he's not sure he can claim. And in the distance, Amy watches him, her expression unreadable, her heart just as torn. The screen fades to black and a soft, haunting melody plays. Text appears on screen. This fall, everything will change. The screen fades to black again. The title flashes. Heartland Season 19. Tai Bordon returns. And then, the final question hangs in the air like a storm. Will the Heartland heal, or be forever divided? The music softens as the screen stays black for a moment longer, leaving a heavy silence in the air. The tension from the trailer lingers, wrapping around the viewer like a memory that refuses to fade. Then a date appears slowly, fading in with a soft glow, a final promise to fans who have waited so long for Tai's return. Text on screen. Heartland Season 19, premieres October 2025. The words seem to hold weight, as if they carry all the anticipation, all the longing, all the unanswered questions that fans have been carrying since Tai's sudden departure. The future of Heartland, the future of Amy, Nathan, and Tai, it's all on the line now. Then, just as quickly, a prompt flashes beneath the date, text on screen, "Don't miss a moment, subscribe now for exclusive sneak peeks." The camera shifts to one last shot of the ranch at dusk, the golden light of the sunset kissing the horizon. A faint breeze rustles the trees, carrying with it the promise of change, of new beginnings, or perhaps final goodbyes. The screen fades to black, but the music swells once more, leaving an open-ended question in its wake. What will happen next? Final. Haunting note hangs in the air as the screen cuts to black completely. Fans are left on the edge of their seats, hearts racing, waiting for the story to unfold. End.